Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my first impressions of Eisenhorn trademark, Xenos trademark. Do we really need the two trademarks? Can we not just have one? No, apparently not. Eisenhorn Xenos. This is a Warhammer 40k game. It's set, by that I mean it's set in the Warhammer 40k universe, and as a matter of fact, Eisenhorn Xenos has been a thing for a decently long time. It has now been adapted to a video game format. I am a huge fan of Warhammer 40k. I love the stuff. Well, most of the stuff. The new lore is kind of meh, but you know what? Let's not talk about that right now. Eisenhorn Xenos is you basically assume the role of an inquisitor investigating heresy, and you may now insert the picture of that meme here, which says, are you suspecting heresy? No? Then you're not a good Inquisitor. Yes? Then it's probably heresy. So, in true Warhammer 40k style, let's go and battle some purge some heresy. But before that, we must investigate whether there are any signs of heresy in the settings menu. Right, as far as the game itself is concerned, controls, or configure gamepad. Let's see what I'm going to play this on a mouse. Excuse me. Heresy. I found heresy already. It's been like what, 2 minutes into the video. I found heresy. This. Why can I not rebind any of these? The Emperor shall hear of this. Invert lock, show subtitles, let's turn that on, and look sensitivity. Audio is, there's audio output, headphones, and speakers, and I don't think I have I don't have my headphones plugged in, and this is still there, which, it slightly changes the volume as you switch between the two, which is a very nice addition. I like this, and 3 different audio sliders. Really quickly, let's take a look at the graphics. I tried switching texture detail, then the game crashed, so let's not do that. It might have been because I was frapsing it, that could have an effect, but nothing too elaborate about that particular options menu. So, let's begin. I am going to play this on hard, of course, because, heresy. You can't play heresy, you can't purge, play heresy. You can't purge heresy on normal. What are you thinking?
The past is a mirror to the future. Also, a friend once said to me, I did not believe it then. I do now. The past walks with us. Its face is the face of all those we have hated. All we have loved, all we have failed.
Right, so, Eisenhorn.
The Imperial Inquisition is to see the true horror of the universe and still have the will to prevail. As with all things, there is another face to the truth. I have looked at the terrors of the universe and cast them down. I have judged billions and forgiven some. I have known victory and touched.
What are you talking about, defeat? There is no defeat.
The lesson that all my years as an Inquisitor have taught me is that it is not enough to prevail. We have to endure the poison of history. We have to survive our own sins.
There's no sin to purge heresy.
Is Gregor Eisenhorn, and these deeds were mine.
Indeed. Get it? These, indeed. I'm never going to make it again. So, Eisenhorn Xenos. I must admit, I've never played the, I believe it was like a board game, right? Please don't flail me if I get it wrong. I've never touched upon Eisenhorn, throughout my entire experience of Warhammer 40k, so I'm going into this
hunting the recidivist
blind.
In Iclone. I came to hubris in the dormant of
241
as
I will note that the game received rather
dormant
bad
after 11 months of hubris's 29-month
based on Xenos, I don't know, but yeah,
and the only signs of life.
Here's the thing:
custodians patrolling
the game received rather mixed results on Steam from the user reviews, and well, we're gonna see why and how in this video, at least. Well, this again, not a review. This is just a first impressions of the game and what do I
Where
think
are
of
the
it.
two
So
custodians?
They are making their rounds.
Knowing we approach? Knowing we expect to meet them?
I will check.
are you suspecting heresy yet? Because I'm suspecting,
I had heard
large levels of heresy.
and prayed to the Emperor that I would never feel it again.
Fun fact: I'm having that eagle tattooed in a short while, so kind of always pleasant to see it for some reason. It's just like, yeah, it's that thing. Oh,
How?
Stay back.
how? He asks. Well. Can we not check the bodies for, signs of cause of death or something like that? No? Cause of death? No? Cause of death? Dying,
Sectional
apparently.
212 was a hibernation tomb at the west end of the Great Imperial Avenue. It housed 12,142 members of the hubris ruling elite.
And now it hosts at least several less. Okay, there we go. The one is a little bit finicky, but let's see. Mechanical devices to use it. Is it, it's technically a mechanical device, isn't it? Ah, there we go. Hacking at a distance, lovely.
Be careful, Loris. You know how dangerous Cyclone is.
He's an animal, a dangerous one, but we'll put him down.
We have him cornered. That'll make him more of a threat than ever. Watch your back.
You too, Eisenhorn.
Very well. She's not alive, is she? I get the feeling it's that type of game. So, is there... Yep. There's these things. Do I have to read them through this? Can I just pick them up? It seems... Oh, and I don't have mouse control with this thing. Fine. Let's just go this way, then. And see what we can see. Graphically, the game looks... I think it captures the 40k vibe rather well. Like, there's a fine amount of... I think it looks like film grain. Let's see. Let's actually stand here in the light and take a look at that. Yeah, it looks like film grain. It might not be, but it looks like film grain, and it adds a little... it adds an entire sort of grim, dirty sense to the entire atmosphere, and I think it is done rather well. Where the hell did I pull that sword out of? It's a bit weird. And is this button mashing really necessary? I mean, I value my hardware. Fine. And it's just... It disappeared, it is. I dread to think where he keeps that. But anyways, graphically speaking, it conveys a rather nice atmosphere, and... Oh, it isn't anything incredibly graphically stunning in terms of graphical fidelity and the textures, but it gets the job done, and it does
in every direction, rows and rows
give out this atmosphere of, yeah, this feels like 40k, rather than making it overly clean, overly, colourful or cartoonish, like some games have a tendency to do, and it just ruins the entire Warhammer 40k atmosphere and the entire, well, everything about the game, really. It ruins the Warhammer 40k aspects, if you will. You look surprisingly hostile, and so do you. They're zombies,
Their
right?
eyes were dark and unforthcoming, as though they had done this mindlessly, by order.
Yeah, they're controlled by something. I say something. I think it's fairly obvious by what, but, That said, though, it should be, we should mention how really interesting and appealing this is going to be to people that have never heard of 40k. First of all, why have you not heard of 40k? It's amazing. Now go look 40k up. But then again, you know, if okay, hold that thought. Never mind. If they've never heard of 40k and don't know the sort of the backstory behind all this, then I think that there's a problem there, isn't there? Because I think you can only appreciate this game sufficiently if you read some of the lore or played some of the games before this to know, you know, what the Inquisition is to a greater extent than that's shown to you by the game thus far, at any rate. Because I'm imagining jumping into this not knowing what the Inquisition is and what an Inquisitor is in Warhammer 40k. It's, you know, it's not the greatest. But then again, obviously, Warhammer 40k is, I think, one of the biggest fantasy universes out there. I'm thinking, you know, I dare not call it the biggest, because for statements like that, you tend to get flailed on the internet, pretty much. But it is, like, one of the biggest fantasy universes, and how do I not see this ladder? And it certainly does have a large enough player base to, you know, base a game and so heavily rely on people already knowing a lot about the lore. It does definitely have a big enough player base, but I think it would do the game service if it went maybe into a little bit about the basics of the lore and stuff like that, rather than, yep, called it she was going to die. Did I not call it? I called it. She was going to die.
All my life, I have had a reputation for being cold, unfeeling. I am not. But I possess a singular force of will. To feel pain, fear, or grief is a luxury I cannot afford. Throughout my career, it has served me well to steel myself against all that this wretched galaxy can throw at me. Loris Vibben had served with me for 5.5 years. In that period, she had saved my life twice. When I recruited her from the clan slums of Tornish, it was for her combat skills. But I came to value her for her sharp mind, soft wit, and clear head. I stared down at her body for a moment. I believe I may have uttered her name. I made a promise to myself. I would kill Eisenhorn with this gun.
That one in particular. Let's see if we can keep that promise. Oh, I just right-click to fire this thing. Perhaps I should have done that now. Let's talk about the combat, shall we? It's serviceable. I don't want to be too harsh. It's serviceable. It's not great. It's not. I'm not overly impressed. It's kind of simplistic. Is it difficult? Yeah, you need to be mindful of your space, your surroundings, and stuff like that. But I've yet to see. You know, it's going for this Arkham style of combat, but it's not executing it all too well. And it really is... I mean, I can see it being okay right now. There's actually a nice touch that when you get near her, he loses focus, if you will. It is, you know, it's a decent attempt at an Arkham-style combat, but... I can see this getting incredibly dull in a few hours. You know, initially, yeah, it's going to be fine. It doesn't take too long, unlike some games. I'm not going to mention which one. You know, it doesn't take you, let's say, 15 minutes to kill one wave of enemies. It is rather quick and straightforward, but it lacks the sort of, you know, the sort of oomph that Arkham combat has, and it lacks the, I dare say, depth of Arkham combat. One of the, oh.
Eisenhorn? Gregor, is that you?
Yes it is. It is me, indeed.
You're dead, you know, Gregor. Dead like they all are. Step out and make it quick.
Oh, look, it's Baron Horrible, one voice actor.
I'll give him that. My legs actually twitched, almost starting to walk me clear of cover into the open. Eisenhorn was infamous across a dozen settled systems for his mind powers and mesmeric tone. How else had he managed to get these dark-eyed fools to do his bidding? But I have similar skills, and I have honed them well. Show yourself first.
Oh. Will attack. Ah, nice.
Step back.
Let's... Yeah, let's kill you first, shall we? Okay, yes, I think we shall. I like the AoE. I really do. It's helpful in this particular situation and circumstance. There's bullets over there, which I intend on picking up as soon as this fight is over, and, well, swiftly lodging them between the eyes of the previously mentioned character, Iclon. Kill him before he fires. Yeah, that didn't exactly work out. Also, you cut off his arm, blood starts spraying from his back, and his arm is nowhere to be found. It is disintegrated. Now, I may not be the most, you know, the greatest person, you know, the most well-acquainted and the most well-known person for Warhammer 40k lore, but I'm fairly certain that swords that disintegrate bits that are cut off aren't exactly, how shall I say it, a thing, right? We can upgrade said sword for 5,000, we can get a... we can get chainswords. Oh, I can get a chainsaw. I want a chainsaw right now. I need that in my life. I wonder how's the combat like with the chainsaw, though. This seems like the type... Oh, no! 1,500. Tell you what, I'll, So this is a Arbites combat shotgun, a plasma gun, and a bolt pistol. Bolt pistol is fine and dandy, but I want the chainsaw. I want to see what the combat is like with that thing, so, And also, can I get some health back, please? Thank you very much. Oh, hello. I have bullets now, mate. I'm going to lodge them swiftly in the both biological and mechanical eye that you possess. I guess I think the other one's modified as well. If the duck down, it's... How am I going to... Oh. Fine. Ow. Fine.
Admit it, Gregor. You don't want to kill me. You want to join me.
Is that the best you can do, mate? I'm sorry. Baron Horrible One voice actor. I mean, that's a thing in Tomb Raider as well, like the press button to climb up after you fucked up a jump. Sorry for the language, but it is 40k. I feel justified somewhat.
The were waking. Their frigid bodies sore with
Void the supercoolant tanks. I'm assuming that this is timed as well, or is there a way around?
Apparently, relief crews were on their way.
There we go. And we continue. We can duck under this, I believe. There we go. And we're through. Can we turn this on now? I clicked on... Oh, that's a bit finicky. Okay, so let me show you what I mean. Okay, so let's say I'm running and I want him to stop. I've stopped pressing the button. See? Now. See the lag? There's like a half a second, maybe even a 2/3 of a second delay before it actually stops moving from the moment you stop holding down the button, which not necessarily. I don't quite see why. I mean, surely when you stop holding the button, you should stop moving. I don't really see an excuse for anything otherwise. Let's, you know, let's just follow the gunshot noises, eh? I mean, it sounds reasonable. I was going to ask, are you going to play the same trick
Almost
again?
got you, Gregor.
You're only stretching this out, Iclone.
Ah, I actually can't shoot him right now. Interesting, and I can't help but feel like that was made on purpose. So I will have to go into a QTE event just so not to catch up to him.
Feeling cold, Eisenhorn? You'll join these corpses.
Oh. I'm sorry. That, oops. There we go, we good? Yeah. This blurriness, by the way, is not just on your end. This is getting rather blurry for some reason. I believe it's due to a loss of health, but it... might not be. Yeah, somehow I don't think she's going to be all too friendly.
I hesitated. A merciful headshot would have spared her everything. But once awake, the hierarchy of hubris would not understand a mercy killing. Do you think me weak? Flawed? To set my duty before her suffering? I would gladly ignore one life in agony if I could save 100, 1,000 more. For I have the moral strength required of an Inquisitor.
Huh.
Mankind must suffer, so that mankind can survive. It's that simple.
It is.
But to this day,
in the
I
context
still
of this universe, it
dream of
is.
the slow death to which I abandoned her.
My oh my, are you not gonna...
The screaming, the pounding. God, Emperor, help me, I will never forget that. Thousands of frantic souls waking up to face an agonizing
Oh
death.
dear. Something tells me these guys did not exactly do a fantastic job at whatever their job was. But I'm not ending this video until I get a chainsword. I absolutely refuse to. Go. One question also, do we have to be zoomed in this close? I mean, there comes a point where I'm like, should either be third person or first person. This is like, I feel like I'm way too close to him. His coat and his body obscure like 30% of the, well, probably even more, like 40% of the screen at times.
The tombs have been
To me, it
raised
seems a
around
little bit unnecessary, dare I say it. Oh god, did he just... Yeah, that just... Can I ask why this pistol isn't doing any damage? No, let's not even ask. Kill the guy with the gun. There we go. Apologies for the keyboard mashing. That would have been kind of awesome to do with a chainsword. Right, can I access the armory right now? Yes, I can. Okay. Chainsaw. I said chainsword. No, I can't. I can't just buy it whenever. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. Right. Well then. A bit of exploration. In honor of Hubris Techno-Magi Fraternity. You can read this if you want, and pause the game, but it would, I mean, it would take too long, to be quite honest, to put in a YouTube video. So forgive me for that. Like I said, you pause the video to read it. This is where I came from. Here then, crawling in the narrow spaces, it seems all too familiar. Tell you what, I'm glad we've switched to the first-person camera at this stage, because it would have been rather unpleasant. Otherwise, There we go.
This was where iClone's men had artificially triggered the revival process. A key component of this mysterious device had been removed.
Does it have anything to do with Slaanesh, is my question, because if yes, then we're in for a very different game, but somehow I don't think that a follower of Slanesh would do this. Though, maybe I'm not creative enough, I don't know. The question, do health packs exist? Because not giving me health is a very artificial way of increasing the difficulty, I'm afraid. Well, not necessarily, but, you know, if you're gonna make me run through here with 5% of my health, then at least give me a, you know, I don't care how difficult, but give me a way to regenerate said health. You know, before the next combat stage. Is it exploration? Is it hacking stuff? I don't know. Is it finding secrets? Could be, actually. Let's look around for a bit. Okay, we've done that. Somehow I think this is not supposed to be here, and I'm not supposed to be able to do this. So let's look away from the from that. You know what? I love the disarming minefield as much as the next guy, but this feels a bit I don't know, uneventful. I mean, I've been on this goose chase for a bit far too long, I'm afraid. Oh, hello. Pause for quick breath. Fix targets. Oh. I don't think I... Oh. There we go. Want to continue from the last checkpoint? Yes. Well then. I wanted to be optimistic about this game. I wanted to love this game. I really, really, really did. From the start. But right now, I have to say that it's... Well, it deserved its reviews, I feel like. Of course, this is just a first impressions video, and of course, nowhere near a review or anything, but, I mean, based on what I've seen right now, and what have I seen? I think I've seen the meat of the gameplay, haven't I? I've seen what is going to be happening in this game for the majority of the time. I've seen the combat, which is, you know, arguably one of the most important things in this game, if not the most important thing, other than getting the lore and the, you know, the detective bit of it all right and good. Is that how I attack with a chainsword? I'm using it like a stick. A stick that, you know, admittedly does enable particle effects. Red particle effects that are supposed to look like blood. It's a particle effect stick, is what it is. This is not a chainsword. And they drop no health. Drop exclusively ammo, which I admit I perhaps should be using a bit more, shall we say, liberally. Hello. Also, dare I ask, why so few bullets? I mean, I'm sure, you know, I realise I'm not an Adeptus Astartes, or not even the Astra Militarum. I'm a simple Inquisitor. Well, I say simple, I'm an Inquisitor. It's nowhere near simple, but, you know, still, I'm pretty sure Inquisitors in the Imperium of Man are allowed to carry more than, what was it, 6 or 8 bullets at a time. It does really seem a bit odd, and, I'll tell you what, I am not impressed by this game. I really am not. Those would be my first impressions if you're, basically, as we're coming to an end of this video, I'm really not that impressed. I wanted this to succeed really badly, but the animations look hastily done and just lack any sort of meaningful punch and oomph behind them. You know, the detective system seems far too simple. The combat is, well, it's repetitive. Like, it's not bad, don't get me wrong. This is not bad. It's not hideously bad. it's just not good either, and the combat is, I think, a good demonstration of just that. That fair enough, you know, you do get different ways of approaching a fight. Well, even then, right? 8 bullets with this thing, really? Or do I need to buy? So it says regular 40. Is that damage? I'm assuming. Yeah, 6. There you go. 6 rounds, really? Okay, 8 on this. Really? 3 rounds? I mean, even if it insta-killed an opponent, which it nowhere near does that, you know, it's atrocious at doing damage. I mean, a hit with a chainsaw does far more damage, which, against some opponents, makes sense, right? I mean, it's a chainsaw, for crying out loud, but there's a reason melee exists in Warhammer 40k, and I suggest you look up a video of by Arch Warhammer, actually a series of videos on why melee exists and how, in some aspects, melee is far more effective than you know, las rifles or blast or you know, even plasma weapons, and even, you know, any type of energy weapon that you might be able to throw at the enemy. A good old-fashioned chainsaw might be even more effective, but I just unloaded everything. I just unloaded my full ammunition, all of my ammunition basically, into that one dude. Maybe 1 or 2 bullets landed on the other, and that's how he just did practically nothing. Well, not practically nothing. It did take off some of his health, but so ultimately, with, I mean, fairly uninspiring and but yeah, uninspiring combat and gameplay that falls a bit short in most of its aspects. I would have to, I'm afraid, not exactly recommend this game. Of course, this is just a first impressions, and, you know, don't look to this video whether, if you're looking for advice whether to buy this thing or not. Obviously, you know, yada yada yada. But seriously, as much as I love Warhammer, this, I don't think I'm going to have the strength to play through this, because it really seems to have failed. Seems to have failed to recreate whatever they were trying to recreate, you know what I mean? It seems just not good enough. Not good enough for a 2016 game, right? Let's see, what is there in the extras? Practically nothing, right? So, yeah. Eisenhorn trademark, Xenos trademark. Ultimately, my conclusion for this first impressions video is that I do not recommend this. At full price, certainly not. It is right now priced at $20 or your regional equivalent. Actually, €20 or your regional equivalent, but I believe it's also $20 in the USA. So, actually, it is on sale at the moment of recording this video for 15-ish, I believe. So, I mean, this is just a $15 game, and with that in mind, I am willing to be way less harsh. It's technically a $20 game, but, you know, again, on sale. Even even if it was $15 base, the base price being $15, I would be very lenient with what I criticize and what I do not. But ultimately, I think that it's going to be $15 that you are going to enjoy playing, at least most of us, and the Steam reviews seem to agree with that as well. It is in the Warhammer universe, and it's going to attract a lot of attention, a lot of fans like that, and, you know, myself among them, which is kind of why I picked this game up, right? But I feel like it needs improvement. I feel like if the combat can be a little bit more fleshed out, the animations improved a little bit and made to feel, you know, heavier, made to feel more meaningful and more impactful. And also a way to heal yourself, because I really can't see that. There probably is later in the game. I don't doubt that later in the game you probably do get a way to heal yourself, or at checkpoints you heal yourself or something like that. Then, you know, okay, fair enough, but it doesn't seem to have a lot of depth, you know what I mean? I would like health packs, I would like more armor, actually more armor. No, I'm going to say more ammo, but armor would be fine too. But maybe a little bit, not exactly being an Inquisitor and all, we might not necessarily want to go around collecting armor. I take that back. But, carrying more ammo, definitively, more collectibles would be nice, more hidden secrets and not just data pads you have to read through would be nice, stuff like that, If it did add that, then I would totally forgive it the, well, all its other flaws and recommend this full-heartedly. But right now, I would recommend that you guys wait until either it gets patched out a little bit more and then some of the bugs and stuff like that improve, which, fair enough, there are a couple of bugs that I ran into while recording this, so, I would recommend wait and pick this up, maybe like 50% off if you really want to play it, but even then, I cannot in good conscience recommend this because I didn't personally enjoy it, and, ultimately, as I said, do not look to me for advice or for reviews and stuff like that. No, not in this particular case at any rate. Anyways, that's pretty much everything. Thank you all very much for watching. Like and subscribe down below if you enjoyed this video. And, in order to support the channel, and stay tuned with the rest of the content I produce. Until next time, my name has been Juggernaut, and this has been Eisenhorn Xenos. What I can take away from it is it has a very, very nice logo. But anyways, until next time, take care, and bye-bye. And do not, by any means, fall under the influence of chaos. Take care, guys. Bye.